am Sarah, I'm 31 years old and I have cystic fibrosis. I think that my health and the reason why I'm so healthy has to do with my exercising. I have always been active. I've been into horses since I was little. I like to play sports, I like to golf, I like to play tennis, I like to rock climb. I definitely never have let cystic fibrosis limit me in anything that I try to do. I've been riding Bob for about 3 years. He's a good boy. He's an ex-race horse. He's a big horse. Typically, every horse that I always ride, because I have long legs, so they look like a pony, but on Bob, he's a big boy. I've done 4-H, done barrel racing. I just recently have started jumping, kind of, when Bob feels like it. Back when I was diagnosed, the outcome was a lot worse than it is nowadays. At one point, I remember I was at the doctor's office, and I was probably about 14 years old and had started talking about college and that kind of stuff. And I heard 2 nurses out in the hallway, and one of them had said something about kids with CF not living long enough to go to college. And that was the first time that it kind of hit me, as far as, because you hear things that, as children that you're not necessarily supposed to. And the way that my mom raised me and my dad raised me wasn't to believe like that. They definitely never treated me like I wasn't going to live till I was 105. It's something that stuck with me. I'm 31 and I still think about it. Just that, at first it was one of those, like, they're crazy. What do they mean that I'm not going to make it through college, And then I think over the next, once you hear something, it's one of those things that kind of stick with you. I didn't go to college. There's times that I wish I would have, because I want kids to know, like, go to college. You guys need to go to college because you're gonna live till you're 50, 60, 70 years old. It's not an excuse anymore. It used to be that it was an excuse. I'm not gonna go to college because why would I spend, hundreds of thousands of dollars to get out of college and die? So it's not that way anymore. Kids need to go to college. They need to know that they need to start investing. They need to have, IRAs and retirement and that kind of stuff. And that's another thing, that's hard now at 30, is that's not ever anything that we were taught. It was never anything that we had to worry about. And now here it is. I'm 31 and just like, okay, now it's time to start looking into retirement and making sure that I'm gonna be okay, because obviously getting older, there's gonna be more upkeep, so to speak. I am really blessed. I have great health. My lung capacity, I'm 31 years old, my lung volume, my FEV1s are still about 73, 74%. And I'm so active that the doctors have pretty much said, when it comes to me, like, keep doing what you're doing. You're obviously doing something right. I also am a firm believer in the fact that I don't live like I'm sick. I don't wake up every morning and think to myself how sick I am, and if I cough, it doesn't scare me. I know that it just happens. And I think a lot of times with people with cystic fibrosis, they worry so much about that next lung infection or catching a cold, that it ends up taking over their life. I wake up every morning and tell myself I'm going to live till 100.